All right, hello wine drinking people. Today is the 1st of November. Wow, Thursday night. We've got a lot of great drinking to do before we're on to the holidays, which are just right around the corner, man. Thanksgiving will be here like that, and then Christmas. And you need to have some wine that you can serve your family that's not going to break the bank, but you will still drink yourself. And one of the best values that we had last year was the Simi 2007 vintage Alexander Cabernet, and I just tasted this 2009, and let me tell you, although we cannot get it down to the same price we had last year, $12.75, which is ridiculously cheap, stupid cheap, because this wine sells for $24 a bottle in most places, $26 on the winery's website. We got you down to $16.75 a bottle. We'll have it there for the rest of the holidays. For those of you that want something that's a great drink, a great bottle of wine, 100% Alexander Valley fruit, some of it coming from that single vineyard wine they do, the Landslide Vineyard, and made by a great winemaker, Steve Reeder, I believe is still there. And Steve was at, the first time I met him, God, he was at Kendall Jackson at the Vintwood facility, toured me through there, and then Chateau Saint Jean after that, and Simi Winery now, and they've had a lot of great wineries through the years. The great Zelma Long was there in the early 70s. This is the first winery that Michel Rolland, the great consultant from Bordeaux, consulted for, and a winery that goes all the way back to 1876, one of the first wineries in California. The two brothers from Tuscany, Giuseppe and Pietro, founded this winery because the rolling hills in Sonoma reminded them of their homeland in Tuscany, and they were very successful there. Unfortunately, both of them had died within like 4 months of each other in 1904, and the young daughter, Giuseppe's daughter, Isabel, took over this winery at age 16 or 18 or something ridiculous number like that, and she ran it. Well, unfortunately, they had to close during Prohibition, but they still made wine. They put it in the cellar. They were drinking it themselves. And when Prohibition ended, they had a huge stash of vintage wine ready to be sold, and thus Simi took off again at this time. And she ran it until 1970. Just amazing. She was like 84 years old when she finally released the reins of this great winery. And they've had a number of renovations to it. Her original champagne tank tasting room completely renovated in the early 90s. And as I mentioned before, the great Steve Reeder now in charge here. And this 2009 vintage turning out to be a phenomenal vintage in Northern California. I think it's even better than the 2007 Simi. A blended 94% Cabernet Sauvignon, 3% Malbec, 3% Petit Verdot. This wine's got a lovely amount of dark cherry, currant, cassis, berry fruit on the nose, some dark earth notes and chocolate notes as well. Kind of nice complexity here for wine, under 20 bucks. And then that lovely dark currant and cherry fruit showing on the tongue with nice structure, nice ripe and round tannins though, not dry. That's one of the things I love about Alexander Valley wines. They tend to be very forward and seductive. Well, one of the most famous Alexander Valley wines, Silver Oak. This wine doesn't have quite as much new oak as that, but you really get the bright, forward fruit from Alexander Valley in this wine. A very good bottle of Cabernet Sauvignon. Like I said, $16.75 for a limited time only on this offer. We were going to offer it by the case at under $16, $15.93, whatever it works out to. So check it out on today's offer. I'm your host, Andrew Lamposoni, signing off from the Wine Watch, saying remember, always drink the good stuff first.